I mean, thank God this movie was as short as it was, just because it was kind of rough. Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you've been watching for a little while, I am back in my bedroom. It is Thanksgiving break for me right now, so yeah, I'm home. Today we are talking about Rustin, which is coming out in the sort of slate of Netflix movies that are all just prestige type of movies. Just reading off of the Letterboxd summary, gay civil rights activist Bayard Rustin helps Martin Luther King Jr. and others organize the 1963 March on Washington. And the whole core of this movie is that despite the fact that Rustin is a gay man in the 60s, and despite some other things about his just past and what he's done being super controversial at the time, he's still so good at his job that he is able to keep it, and he is able to really just organize the biggest peaceful protests in American history. And yes, historically, that is kind of the heart of Rustin's story, and that it is a triumph. But as a movie, you don't really feel it. You feel like that they are telling you that Rustin is really good at his job. But then when you actually watch it and you see what's going on, show don't tell, right? Well, it looks like he's really bad at his job, with just a bunch of other people, including himself, saying that he is so good at it. And I just had such a hard time believing that because of some of the things he did in this movie, where I was like, if you were good at your job, you wouldn't be doing these things. And the issue is that if they showed him doing those things and then also showed a lot of the great things that he did, then I would get it. But they spent a lot more time showing him doing these certain acts that I guess you could say cause a lot of drama, or could potentially cause a lot of drama. And you just don't spend nearly enough time showing the good things that he is doing when organizing the March on Washington, until later in the movie when people tell you what he did. And I know at the start of the movie, I said how, thank God this movie was so short, because, it's just kind of boring. But if this movie was a little longer, they could have spent more time showing the good things that he did. But also, on the contrary, I feel like they could have spent less time on the sort of Martin Luther King aspect of this film and focus more on Rustin himself, because Martin Luther King plays such a big role in this movie, and I get it. He is such an important figure, but this is Rustin's story. This is supposed to be his movie, and I feel like it's kind of overshadowed by MLK. You have this actor named Amul Amin playing MLK, and I think he was just pretty bad. At the end of the day, if you do want to watch this film, just go into it knowing that a lot of it is weak, but Colman Domingo as Bayard Rustin is really good and really fun to watch. At least in my opinion, I felt that he just has this sort of charisma and snappiness to him that was just, I don't think breathtaking is the word. I don't think it's that level of a performance. I don't think it's really an Oscar-worthy performance, but just really entertaining. It holds your attention, and I appreciate that. He does a really solid job for, what I feel like was a pretty weak script and also kind of weak direction. And I know most of what I've said in this review has been negative, but I still do see this as a 3-star movie. I don't think it is that terrible. I just think it's okay. There was such a chance for this movie to really be good and really just tell the story of a figure in history that we don't know about. And as a queer person, shine representation on people like us who just aren't talked about in history because queer people have been shamed on for years and years and years. But what about you? Have you seen Rustin yet? Do you plan on seeing Rustin? If you have seen it, what are your thoughts? And if you haven't, why haven't you? Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, like this video and subscribe if you aren't already, because not a lot of you are. Thank you so much for tuning into this movie review, and if you're watching this video on Saturday, you can check back on the channel tomorrow for my review of Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Take care.